What's up, everybody? This is the Grand Line Gazette, where we talk about One Piece damn near every damn day, and we are bringing back the Devil Fruit discussions. We are going to start it's going to be a little random. We're going to see how you guys feel about it, so let us know in the comments below. That's Kev, I'm Corey. Like, subscribe, support us. This is the Grand Line Gazette, where we talk about One Piece. Before we get started with the video today, Kev, how you feeling?
Not feeling too great. Had a cough recently. Got that, winter cold going around. So just trying to get better. But we always got some One Piece. That
Yeah,
always makes me feel a little bit better.
gets a little bit colder where you are at right
Hmm.
now. I mean, check the background right now. It's kind of icy out there, kind of like it's icy out here. Um, I'm in Arizona, so I mean, it's like 60 degrees, so it's not too cold right now. I can't really complain, unfortunately. But all you guys in the comments below, how do you guys feel about the Bara no Mi? If you guys read the title, clicked on the video, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about the split fruit, Buggy's fruit, all the capabilities, all the potential, I don't know, uses in the future story. We're gonna get
Sure.
started right now. Kev, here, you want to take us away?
Yeah. So let's just get a little details out there. It's a paramecia devil fruit that allows the user to split their own body into pieces and control said pieces however they wish. So that makes them immune to slashing attacks, unless it's with hockey, I'd assume. Now, the reason it's called Bara is because in Japanese it's the splitting human. So Bara Ninjin. Um, Notably different than Luffy because Luffy's weakness is slashes when Buggy's that is what he can accept, and so that is quite interesting as well. Um, but I mean, what do you think like as far as Buggy? Do you think that this is a very powerful fruit?
I think this is every bit as powerful as Luffy's is outside of the being a on the base level of being rubber and then his being splitting, it's just
Yeah,
as powerful. Like anything Mihawk could do to Luffy, he can't do to Buggy. So Mihawk has to punch and physically attack Buggy. Like Luffy, we saw in recent chapters in like Elbaf, like he can jump from like who knows, like a mile up in the air and land. It's like it took a little bit more training back in the day, but he has the durability now where it doesn't really phase him. But he can't take blunt attacks. The only thing he can
very true.
take are piercing attacks. The only thing limiting Buggy, I think, are his own. He has a fake belief in himself. But if he actually believed in himself and applied himself a little bit more, I think he could probably split things. We talked about this before on the level of like the Quake fruit. Like I think he can also like split the ground, or he could probably split thing like the ground all the way to the core if he was powerful enough.
Sure.
How do you?
So I
Yeah.
I do like the Baranomi. Uh, and I think that the current predicament that we find Buggy in with Dracul Mihawk might be the actual cause of his final awakening. Because you have Dracul and Crocodile who are just slicing this guy right now to bits every single day, all day, every day. So he's just being pushed to his limit every single day. I can't wait to see what Buggy finally comes up with. I'm seeing something in the future along the ways of he can basically turn into mist. He can just split himself continuously until it's all until it's just
How
evaporated.
yeah? How fine can his like slices be? Because we've seen where he does a whole slice and dice thing on his body to like avoid damage, but it's like
Yeah,
how finely can that cut get? Um, the thing I worry about is if you cut it too fine. You know, like in Dragon Ball Z when they get hit by like beams, how they like dissolve sometimes. Like it
hmm,
would be much easier to burn away those small bits and
sure.
pieces. So it's like you're losing core parts of you
Ooh,
um,
I like that.
on
Okay,
some like Sandman stuff.
can't
Um,
go too far.
yeah. As far as how do you guys feel in the comments below? Like, write down how powerful do you guys think this Bara Nomi is? As far as like weaknesses go, I guess blunt attacks would be his like weakness. So, like we said, on the opposite of Luffy, um, do you see him fighting anybody that actually does blunt force trauma, though.
No, and I go back, and the reason I say that is I go back to Marineford, one of the biggest battles. He's there, and his role in that was not to fight. His role there was to take over the media. He took down all the cameras and allowed one camera to broadcast to the world, and it was his point of view. So I think that's kind of where his job is, even in the final battle, will be to basically become the Pirate King. He's everything that we say Luffy is, but he wants the limelight. So I think he just has to be impervious to the normal everyday person, which I think the Bara no Mi will do greatly because most people can't do hockey attacks. Most people aren't going to hit him hard enough to kill him, and he's immune to slashes. So I just don't think that's his fighting role, but
Yeah,
I think that he has an important role to play for sure.
I think that the Bari Bari was definitely in a used a lot more in the beginning of the manga. Obviously, he was like one of the first opponents, but like to put in perspective what he's doing compared to everyday people, like imagine you want to stab somebody in the back. You stalked them, you know what I mean? You're like hiding behind a corner in a building and everything in the shadows and stuff like that, and they're buying like some stuff at a vendor. All you got to do is stick your arm out with a knife, let it go. You could stab him in the back, bring the knife back, and then you're back in the shadows. You know what I mean? Like you can do like
Mm-hmm.
long range assassinations. Um, he does a lot of where he just kind of like sends his wrists out, where they have various weapons. Where it's like, hey, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
You're gonna dodge it? You're gonna try to grab it? You can't grab all these knives, stuff like that. I think that's the most like applicable ability he has when it comes to like attacks is just like shooting his hands out like cannons. Like it's like you know, strong left and weapons right. You know what I mean? Just like Frankie.
agreed.
You had a theory where he could fly.
Yeah, so I mean, let's get into that. So the rule for Buggy is his feet, in order for the rest of his body parts to fly, his feet have to be touching the ground. So I mean, the for all of you old heads out there, Static Shock was a big thing for me when I was a kid, and if you put his feet on something while Buggy uses his hands to carry it, could he fly in his over exaggerated form that he uses now, where he puffs up his parachute shirt that he uses? Do you think that he could fly using that? I hope not, because Oda hates that. Oda hates the flying characters, but he's introduced it before, and Buggy's weak enough in the fighting department where flying wouldn't be that bad. It wouldn't be groundbreaking or anything like that. So
I mean, that's a big thing about like somewhat flying. You know what I mean? Like
mm-hmm,
a lot of times we see Bucky, he's in the air or he's like floating. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
One of his attacks is literally just grabbing somebody, bringing them in the air, and dropping them. You know what I mean? Like these aren't like attacks, but it's just like yeah. Or
Yeah.
you do like he does like a power bomb from up there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like there's a lot of stuff that you can do with that, and I don't think flying is out of the question. I don't think, and I think like with him flying, I think I mentioned it is like he has a cloak, like cloak and dagger, huge cloak over
Yeah.
the rock or whatever he's standing on. You said he grabs the rock with his hands,
Yep.
keeps his feet on the rock, and then just hovers from there.
Just hovers from there.
And so
I
from
mean, everyone thinks he's bigger than what he is now.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of crazy.
yeah, from the outside looking in, you're just a guy with a cloak hovering. So I mean, right there, that's all Buggy is just hype anyway. So I feel like that fits.
Yeah, I agree. What do you guys think? Put it down in the chat. Do you guys think Buggy here is gonna be strong at the end? What do you guys think an awakened Chop Chop fruit could actually do? Anything that we missed? I mean, most of all, I would love to learn more about it myself. So you guys tell us.
and you guys let us know, what do you guys think the best matchup for the Chop Chop fruit is? Whether Buggy had it or not, what is a devil fruit you'd like to see the Chop Chop go up against? I wonder if the Dice fruit and the Chop Chop, I wonder if that would, if you imbued your hockey in it, if you could not get your blades cut.
It is interesting because he does seem beaten up quite a bit. So I think Mihawk does have some type of effect on him with his black blade. So it would be interesting to see that.
But my thought with Buggy always then is just like, he's not trying to fight back, because once he does anything, he loses. It's like, once Mihawk knows like, oh, he can do that to me. You know what I mean? Okay, I know he wasn't trying, but now I'm going to watch out for this guy, because what else can he do that I don't know about? So I think he's constantly just playing like, oh, I can't do anything. I don't know. What do you guys think? That's more of a Buggy discussion rather than a Bara Nobi. Maybe we'll talk about him later. But yeah, you guys have a great rest of the day. Come back for the next one. We'll be back later on this week. I don't know what day this is coming out.